everyone, wherever you are. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening for East Africans because I know it is 8 p.m. How are you doing? How has been your days? Today I have a special guest for you, but before I get to the guest, I need to remind you that I'm your host and I am Taguya Ashraf, the president of Excellencia International Institute East Africa chapter. And the wonderful man we have here to discuss important topics is someone I have been having these conversations with, but indoors. So I was like, I need to bring him on board such that we share these wonderful ideas with everyone. Okay, so our guest today is Professor Qais Al-Ganouni, who is a professor and at the university and also a PhD holder in human resource management. Dr. Qais is the president, Excellencia International Institute, but not East African chapter. So, most important to note is that Professor Qais is uh, uh, someone who has invested most of his time in developing career and guiding the youth through as a professor, as a coach, because he's a certified PCC ICF certified coach, and he's an author. Okay, I've had the opportunity to share with him, and I think I should share this book as well. Professor Hayes is the author of this book, Student Success, which is available both in Arabic and English. I think Professor will have to tell us how to get this book later because I believe East Africans are yearning to get it.
Hey,
uh, welcome, Professor. Say hi to the East Africans and everyone all over the world.
so thank you for having me in this webinar, Ashraf. I'm really more than happy to be with you, and really more than excited. Actually, this is a special moment. I was waiting for so long to share with Ashraf, and I'll tell you later on why. And hi everyone there. So follow us. Really, I mean it. It's really this webinar will be something else. Yeah, it's life changing. So. Be here with us, follow us, and you'll see that there are many things to share with you. And I want to say a lot of things, but let's get back to Asher for I tell you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I know. I wish they knew what is coming for them. Thank you very much, Dr. Qais. Dear viewers, we have something special today. This is just part of the series of the webinars we are conducting as Excellencia International Institute to try to create awareness about we need to change people's lives. We need to advise, to share knowledge because the knowledge and expertise industry is what is booming right now. Am I right, Professor? So whenever you have knowledge, you're good to go. But if you don't have anything, you don't know how to do something, you don't know who to talk to, you don't know if you need a coach or not, this is not something healthy at all. Now, today we are talking about something very important, very specific, a little bit philosophical, but I know Professor is fond of breaking down things. We're talking about purpose and career because they are two powerful words. Purpose alone is something and career is another thing, but we wanted you, Professor, maybe by the end of this webinar, to have helped us break it down and show the relationship between the two. But like they say, first things first. Purpose and career.
So
How do you want to go about them?
I'll jump to the conclusion. So I give you I'll share with you so the conclusion of this webinar right now. So it's a loop, and get the loop. If you are working on something, your job, or you're doing something which is not really aligned with your purpose of life, so this is the cause. What's the effect? What will be the effect? So the cause is if your career is not aligned with your life, with the purpose of your life. So the consequence will be absolutely one or two things actually. The first, you won't outperform, you won't reach the highest level of your performance. This is number one. And what should the second one is more important. You won't be, or you won't, let's be optimistic. So let's put it positively. So we won't reach the highest level of your happiness in life. So it's about, so it's not just about a career, it's not about job, it's about two things. It's about expressing your capabilities, expressing yourself within the thing you're doing and achieving your highest level of performance. So the most uh, so express the most your capability and achieve really discover yourself, surprise yourself, know more about yourself while exercising and applying things. So it's important for you to work on something that it's aligned with your is aligned with your purpose of life, to discover yourself and discover your capabilities, your potential. And they say unleash your potential. This is number one. Number two, it's about happiness. And as I said earlier, it's the most important thing in life to be happy. And you can't reach the highest level of happiness if you're doing some kind of boring job just to get a salary. And I explain why, and I'll be mobilizing some theories like the positive psychology. And according to the positive psychology, happiness is four levels. And the first, it starts with satisfaction, with pleasure first. So it's pleasure, and it's physical, and it goes away rapidly. So it's not something sustainable. So once satisfied, uh, it goes. The second level is about satisfaction. And here it's about challenging yourself. It's about really getting out of your comfort zone. And that's important to challenge yourself and see that you're doing extraordinary things. But still, it's not enough because you'll be envied by your surroundings, seeing you doing extraordinary things. But deep inside, you won't be satisfied with that. If it's not meaningful, if it doesn't have a meaning for you. And the meaning, so maybe I give you an example. So, what was the difference between doing extraordinary things and not being meaningful? So, you can be a doctor, you can be a famous doctor, having many clients coming to you, and you have many patients coming to you, and you actually enjoy a good reputation. You're famous, will know. So, and that's in that way you're envied. So people would like to be like you, but it doesn't make any sense for you because you know deep down in yourself, in the back of your mind, you have you would have liked to be someone else, doing something else. You would have liked to be an engineer, for example, or a pilot, or a teacher, or doing something else that brings you more joy and more happiness. So it won't. This profession won't have that meaning for you and won't make you make you happy. So you need to challenge yourself, but if you'd like to reach that highest level of happiness, you'd like to challenge yourself, you need to challenge yourself in something that has a meaning to you. And the last level is, so just we sum up. The first level is pleasure, then satisfaction,
Satisfaction.
then having a meaningful life, and the fourth and last level is contentment, when you don't care about what's going around you, when you just feel content. So it's, you got everything. So and you have your happiness. You live your happiness from within. And by the way, you can't reach that level unless you go through the three, 4 levels. So you can be content without actually challenging yourself in something that has a meaning to you. And by the way, the meaning can be actually social, some helping people, contributing to people's life. The meaning can be growing, learning, increasing your knowledge, your maybe in business, growing your business, being an entrepreneur, successful entrepreneur. So the meaning is something special and unique. So it depends on you, and you need to discover what's meaningful for you to actually keep challenging yourself, keep stepping out of your comfort zone, and keep learning and growing, and then you reach the last level when yeah, you did great and you feel that yeah, now you don't care about what's going on. You have your meaning deep in your heart, so and you're carrying the life you'd like to live.
All right, thank you very much. That was quite an opening few minutes, and I wish to remind our viewers that we are already 11 minutes into our webinar, and they should feel free. Please feel free to post any question that you have. Professor Qais is here; he will answer, just in case you may need him to clarify something. So, Professor, so far we have explained a little bit of how important it is for someone to have him or herself do something, okay, choose a career which is aligned with what they find meaning in. Like you should work somewhere you feel like there is meaning, which brings me to something interesting because um, the term purpose is one of the things that are ambiguous and vague. You cannot really, everyone would have to interpret it their own way. But maybe we can talk about the kind of purpose we mean for a successful career. Yeah, and yeah, if you can say something about that, please.
So I know you enjoy philosophical debates, and I'll surprise you with this thing. Actually, every one of us knows his purpose in life. Surprising, is it?
Everyone knows what?
So every one of us knows exactly what is the purpose of his life. Yeah. So let me explain this. So deep, in your subconscious mind, the purpose is there, and you know it. So it's there in your subconscious mind. So and how is that? So it's the fruit, it's the result of our experience in life, of our references, of the many things we've been through in our life. So, I saw that teacher and he amazed me with his way of an inspirational way of speaking. So that becomes part of my self, what we call self ideal. So I have it in the back of my mind. I have it. I saw my father successful as a businessman. So he became a role model for me. So yeah, I have that in the back of my mind. So I saw someone contributing in people's life, charity, doing things, and I kept that image. So it became part of myself idea. So deep down in ourselves. So if I delve so deep and listen to the whispers I have inside. So I will know exactly, I will envision, I will design the self ideal I'd like to be in different areas. So when we speak about the purpose of life, it's not just about business, money, it's about mainly 7 areas, and they are there. And we have them. So we don't need to look around to find them. They are there, and they are related to one, your family. So your purpose of life, the purpose of life has an ingredient, a component related to your family. Your purpose of life has another ingredient related to your friends, relationships, the way you talk, look, socialize. You're funny, you're not funny. So You deal easily with people, so that's part of your purpose of life. You have another one which is related to your education, your knowledge, another one related to your finances, your money, your work, your job, your spiritual life. So all of them in concert contribute to shaping your purpose of life. The purpose of life is there, and the challenge is not about whether you have a purpose of life or not. Yeah, you have it, but the challenge is how to um, to move it from the subconscious to the conscious mind, how to be aware of it, how to work on it, to write it down, to make it clear, to actually see it clearly, so you can start breaking it down into more specific, detailed steps and sequence steps you can work on to achieve. So, from the purpose of life, so the first step and the most important step is to be aware of yourself. We call that self-awareness. You need to work on your self-awareness to state your purpose of life, to make it clear, and then envision the way to achieve it and break down both the purpose of life and what we call the mission and the vision. Then it's time to strategize and break them down into practical goals you work upon to achieve them. And the power of the thing, and here's the most important thing, is what we call, and here I refer to the theory of locus of control. When you do that, you feel on top of things. You feel that you move from the external locus of control when you're actually tossed uh, 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 right and left by you're actually drift away by circumstances to a situation when you feel that you're in control. You know exactly what you are doing. You know exactly that you're moving step by step forward toward your dream. So your calling of life. So you're on top of things. You feel proud of yourself. You feel that now things are clear, and now you become more confident. And that confidence, that high self-esteem, will encourage you to move fast, to try different things, to try to experiment new things, to look positively to things. Even failure is not failure, it's a new experience and the new learning that will help you to move forward toward that thing. And the most important thing is not whether you'll achieve it or not, but the most important thing is that you're moving forward, you're in control, and that's really very, very, very powerful.
Wow, wow, amazing, amazing insights, Professor. Up to now, I understand that we start by becoming aware of the purpose, and we
Yeah.
have said that it lies exactly where you find meaning in life. And we have also said that it is not one thing. It is not just in business, but it is connected to family, society, to values. So where you find meaning in life is where your purpose lies. We have said that we start by becoming aware of it. Then we go ahead to envision, because you need to envision what you want to do with that purpose. Then you have to lay down strategies to get there. There is something very important. I think I picked it up from your talk, Professor. You said what meant that purpose does not mean for you to be rigid. It does not mean that you have everything figured out already. It also involves trying. You can't say that I have discovered my purpose. Now I know exactly what to do. So there is a step of knowing your purpose, but it should not make someone become so rigid that they don't accept an advice, they don't accept to learn from different people, different scenarios. I don't know if I understood you right on that.
Yeah, that's really important, and thank you for sharing that. Actually, this is one of the foundation and the principles of success. So success is a journey, not a destination. Again,
Oh,
success is
okay.
a journey, not a destination. So if you get fixated on and obsessed by the goal itself. So you will, so one of two things will happen. It's either you achieve it and then you feel emptiness, so what's next? Or you do not achieve and actually feel really feel down because you haven't achieved that, and you start feeling bad about yourself, disappointed, and yeah, it's really and you fill yourself with negative emotions that won't help you uh, resurrect again, stand up again, and keep trying. No. So we need to look at things, even the purpose of life, as something dynamic. So it's my purpose of life now. And as I
Okay.
told you, referring to my past experiences. But now I'm growing. My experiences are changing. I'm achieving new things. So necessarily, when I achieve that thing that I thought was my purpose of life, so I'll upgraded it. So I'll be more greedy and I'll look for other things. And the point is not about whether I achieve it or not. So no, the point is about working on it and enjoying working on it. Because the objective of thing, the goal of thing is to enjoy discovering myself, to enjoy growing, to enjoy knowing what I'm capable of, enjoying actually, yeah, it's really something. And people who actually have been through this know it. So I know you know it. So when you work on difficult, it's not difficult, challenging things. When you work on challenging things and you achieve them, you feel happy, proud of yourself, not because you achieved these things, but for the one you became when you achieved these things. So it's not about the thing, it's about you. It's not whether you achieved or not, it's how you work on yourself to grow, to discover new things, to be happy, acquiring new capabilities, new skills, being someone different. So looking, changing your perspective, changing the way you're looking at life, at things. So becoming someone you feel proud of. So that's the thing. So it's not about the purpose itself, the purpose of life itself. It's not something fixed. It's something that should, like actually what we call it, the pole star. So it's something, it's our compass. So it's something that guides all our efforts. But it's not the important thing. So it shows the way, but the way we enjoy the way because it impacts us. So it's not. So this is really important. So we need to look at things from this angle, the effect they have on us. The most important thing is not what happens around us. What happens inside us is more important. So when so it needs this point needs a little bit of clarification. Just I refer to wonderful quote by Anais. It's a British philosopher and writer. She said, "We don't see things as they are. We see things as we are." So everything happening outside, it has a meaning depending. So the meaning it has, it actually we give that meaning to things, and if we'd like to be, so it's really I couldn't follow on this point, so it's a little bit tricky, but in one word, so just to explain it, so we need to focus more on the journey. We need to enjoy the journey. We need to enjoy growing apart from the goal itself, because when we enjoy the journey, it actually frees us from any stress, from any pressure. It makes us feel really relaxed. It makes us enjoy the things we're doing. It makes us actually, when we just enjoy the things we're working on, we get more focused. And when we get more focused, we forget about time, we forget about everything, and then we unleash our creativity, because creativity is nothing but time. We get more time focused working on that thing, and when we enjoy the process, so we have fun, we become more creative, we develop, we grow, and we actually reinforce our capability to achieve the thing. And we will discover later on that that thing that we thought it was difficult was nothing, wasn't that much difficult, because we grew along the way. We developed along the way. We changed along the way, and we became better, because we were passionate, not obsessed with the goal itself. We were passionate about it. We were passionate about the process, and that made us actually move fast uh, with all what we have as capabilities and achieved. I don't
Okay.
know. Does it make sense?
It surely does. It makes a lot of sense. You stressed a very important point, in my opinion, Professor, and that is uh, focusing on the process. So as we keep on, as our purpose keeps on growing, our career is as well advancing. But most important is not getting there. Most important is to focus on the process and what you become as you go through the process.
you,
And I find that very powerful.
you reminded me of a quote by Jim Rohn. He says, "Focus on developing your skills more than you focus on the job itself." Because so now I'm speaking technically, practically. So enough of philosophy. So practically, so if you
Okay.
work, so and that's actually what is happening to most of the people actually, and really I have some interesting statistics to mention. An article by Forbes says that 65% of Americans feel burnout. And why? Because they are working a lot on their jobs, and this is actually a trap we need to avoid. When you work on the job itself, so this is what will happen, and you forget, of course, you forget about yourself. So the requirements of the job will increase. So nothing is stable, nothing is actually fixed, everything is changing. So the job will change, and the requirements of the job will change, but you won't change. And if the requirements are above what you can deliver, so as a consequence, so they will let you go. So it's not helpful for you to do that. So you need to invert actually the thing. You need to work on yourself as you work on the job. So, and let's say more than work on the job, because when you work on yourself, so you increase your capabilities. You became really more than important for the business. So they can change. You're giving them the outcome. You're giving them the results they are willing to get. You're actually bringing to the company the value added. So that's why you need to be on top of things. You need to be the one who's bringing new ideas, the one who is working in himself to develop in terms of his ideas, in terms of his personality, in terms of his leadership skills. So he actually can bring, can add to the job itself, and make it really more useful to the company. So that's the thing. So we need to work. So we need to work on ourselves more than we work on the job.
Okay. And that is another wonderful few minutes. You've just said things that are wonderful. Let us see if there is someone in the chat. I don't know what you have there. People are thanking. People are sending you greetings. Let me see. Okay. So far, we do not have any questions from our audience. I do not know if you have any there on your side. Okay. All right. We remind our followers that you feel free to ask your questions. This webinar is for you. It is not just about us speaking, about the doctor speaking, but we are all here to share. So feel free to ask anything. Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much. Professor, you've talked about the importance of considering it as a journey, but the ingredient you have mentioned is keeping on learning. Okay, like yes, it is a journey, but you mentioned that growing and developing your skills is very important, which uh, reminds me of uh, about the mindset of someone who is moving a journey.
Yeah, actually,
So
so to react to that, so you know, people watching us may be asking, saying this, so working on myself, so what to improve to be better, and to get something. Actually, you know, the discussion is not just about having a job. You know, when we speak about the career, it's not a job. So you can have a job, you can run a business. So and this is actually the thing we'd like to emphasize throughout this webinar is whatever you'll be doing, so it should be aligned with your purpose of life, and in that meaning that it becomes a calling for you. So something you do. You just this is so. This is the key. So if you'd like to know whether you're what you're doing now is aligned with your purpose of life, so ask yourself this question and be genuine with you. And then I get back to your question, brother Ashraf. So if you'd like to know that now you're doing the thing you ought to be doing forever, so ask yourself this question. So would I be open to do this thing even for free? Even for free. So so do I really enjoy doing this thing? Is it kind of a hobby for me? So I won't say passion. I will use another word. Is it a hobby? So you know, let's use the analogy of the cameraman or photograph. So a passion of photographing. So he would take he would just take his camera and spend the entire day taking pictures, even without getting money from that, because it's the thing he's passionate about. It's a hobby. So the same thing for you. If you'd like to know whether you are in the right job or not, ask yourself this question: would I be open to do this, to doing this even for free? Do I would so let's actually state it differently. So I know some people would say, you know, I have a family to provide for. No, I won't be doing it for free. Let me rephrase the question. So would you be open to do the extra, to go the extra mile in your current job, to uh, to do extra hours, even for free, to do the job even without being asked to by your boss? So would you be open to do that? Would you be open to give it all when you're there and be the first to take initiative, to say, I'll be the one to do this? Would you be open to do that? So if your answer is yes, that means that you're in the right thing. So you're doing the right thing, whether it is job or business or something. So when your work is your passion, so that's really a great index that, and a great sign that you're in the right place. So now, so this is the idea, but how can we break it down to know that, to make sure that it's really true? So use three things actually, or ask three questions. The first question is my current job aligned with my, or let's say, allow me to express my cognitive capabilities, my intelligence, my skills. So do I feel really efficient? Do I feel expert on doing this current job, if it is a job? So am I really outperforming? Do I consider myself one of the best in this field? So am I doing a great job actually? So that's the first question. It is related to your capabilities. So if the answer is yes, that's great. So move to the second question. And the second question is about your feelings. So do I feel happy coming to this activity? Waking up the morning, so dressing and coming to the activity, this activity, whether it is job or a business. So do I feel happy? Do I feel energized? And when I close the door of my office and going home, so am I still thinking of the things to do tomorrow? And so it means that you're passionate of that thing. So that's another yes. So now the third question. And I think the third question is the most important of the three. And there you ask yourself, is this activity aligned with my values? Is it congruent with my values? And really pay attention, please. So when we speak about values, so people think when we talk about values, it's about respecting the others. No, that's actually part of the values. And let me say the lowest part of values, because when we talk about values, we talk about values in dealing with people, values in dealing with people, values. But more important than that is the values in dealing with yourself. Let me explain. Let me explain it more. So when we speak about creativity, it's value. When we speak about determination, it's value. When we speak about growing, it's value. When we speaking about challenging yourself, is value. When we speak about growth, development, team working, so these all are values. And if the activity you're doing doesn't allow you to grow, so it's not congruent with your values. Doesn't allow you to express your creativity, it's not aligned with your values. Doesn't allow you to be in good relationships with your surroundings, so it's not aligned with your values. So doesn't allow you also if it doesn't allow you to be genuine, authentic, sincere, so it's not aligned with your values. So it won't be really congruent with the purpose of your life. So to know whether you are in the right place, ask yourself these three questions and be honest with yourself. Does it allow me to express my capabilities? So do I mastering the job? Second thing, am I really passionate with it? Am I really passionate about it? And the third thing, is it really congruent with my values?
Thank you.
So three questions. Now coming back to your question, how to when we speak about skills, so how to improve our skills. So you know, uh, so I prefer using another word, which is competence and being competent. And you cannot be competent. Uh, Competence actually two sides word, so it depends on you and the job too. So and to be competent within a job, so it's about three things. It's about your cognitive skills like intelligence, critical thinking, strategic thinking, dexterity. What's mean thinking fast? So it's about also your knowledge. So you need to keep working on these things. It's also about your memory, so all the cognitive skills, but also it's about your emotional intelligence, and it's about your it's about your personality. It's about your values. Uh, so these are the three things, and the three things that we need to keep working on and make them actually match the job requirements.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, Professor. Before we proceed, I think there are some questions from the viewers. Mr. Ahmad is asking, what's the best way to find your purpose?
Many techniques, so you can use many techniques. And just to clarify, the purpose is we all have it. So it's about not finding it because it's already there, but I'll say how to know, to express it, how to make it really, how to move it from the subconscious to the conscious mind, how to state it, how to be clear about it. And there are some actually techniques. One of the technique is mentioned by Stephen Covey in his book called The Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. And the technique is really powerful, emotional. So I don't know whether some of those who are watching us now would try it, but it's really very, very powerful. And it's about really just lying back and closing your eyes and thinking of yourself as already dead, and people are coming to uh, to just say the last to to say the last word, and just they are around you while you're laid there and just talking about your qualities as and saying things kind of he was and there you fill the blank. So there you mention the things that people would like to remember you with. And as I said, so just uh, not in one area of your life, in the different areas of your life. So in family, for example, some of your family members would say, you know, he was actually kind with us. He was forgiving everyone. He was supporting everyone. So that's one of the self idea you have of yourself. So maybe you can imagine friends or colleagues come in also to uh, to have the last look, and they are actually talking and acknowledging you for your qualities as a colleague, as a boss. It was a great leadership. He was always the first to find the solution, to envision. He actually was supportive. He was a great listener. He was encouraging. So we trust him. So we have when we have something to work upon, something challenging. So he's the first one to we address. So things like that. So think of your the areas of your life. Think of your work. Think of your knowledge. Think of your family, of your spiritual life. Think of all of that, and just try to envision the kind of legacy, and I emphasize the word legacy, the kind of legacy you'd like to leave behind. So that will be your purpose of life. Another technique mentioned by Tracy Bryan, also one of the famous figure in the self-development field. The technique is simple. So always in these different areas of life, just ask you three. Simple question in the different areas of life. What are the three things I'd like to achieve? And in within the family area, what are the three things I'd like to achieve in business? What are the three things? And the key is to answer rapidly without thinking. Because when you answer rapidly without thinking, the conscious mind won't interfere in the thinking process. And you will extract directly the information from the subconscious mind. Because as I told you, your purpose of life is already there. And all you have to do is to sit with yourself and have a straightforward, you have a direct, genuine, authentic self-talk with yourself, so you can know about your purpose of life and know about yourself.
Okay, thank you very much. There is another question here. I don't know what you will make of it. Brother Wajih is asking what defines the purpose. I don't know what that means.
What defines the purpose?
Yes.
I need more clarification on that question, but the purpose is, for us as human beings, is we don't have one purpose. We have many. We have many vertically and horizontally. Vertically means when you're walking through a journey, so you have many stations. So you have an ultimate purpose, and that's the ultimate goal of your life. But you have along the way,
intermediary action steps.
Yeah, along the way you have many milestones to go through. So they are actually intermediate purposes. But for yourself to be coherent, you need to know your final, your ultimate goal. Then you can synchronize everything around that and live a harmonious life. And if your life is in harmony, so you get more efficient, you get more productive, you move faster, you don't have your energy scattered everywhere, so you're focused. And when we speak about the horizontal goals, so it's about the different areas of your life. So this is the big picture. So final goal, meanwhile goals, and broader picture. So different goals to work upon in our life.
All right, that is really very important. If I'm to summarize it, would I be right to say, look where you're going and live where you are? So you should keep going, but still live every. You move vertically, but you live horizontally, such that you do not get distorted.
Yeah.
So thank you very much, Professor. We have exactly 10 minutes to the end of our webinar, and there are two things I would love you to talk about. Where does career lie in all our conversation? The second question is there anyone, because this seems like a very difficult journey to move alone, is there anyone specialized in helping people to move this journey?
So
Those are the two things.
question, please, Ashton.
The first question was, we have talked about purpose and living, but the term career has come in a few times. Could you please relate it to what we have been talking about?
Yeah, the difference between a job and a career. So, the job is the position you have right now. So that's your job, and the career is actually the journey. It's many jobs. It's maybe a job, maybe a job here and then something else. So maybe you're just having a job right now to make the ends meet and just to get a budget and prepare yourself for something else. Maybe and the something else maybe to further your studies and then get back as a senior. I don't know. So it's about your own project, your own plan. Or maybe the something else, you're getting money now from this job because you're preparing yourself for your business to own your and launch your business. So this is the career. So the career is the whole process. That's your career, and the job is just where you are right now as a position. And it's better actually to think about your career more than your current job, because there you have a long-term perspective, not a short-term one. So you do not get consumed by your current job and get burned out and then laid out. No, so you have a plan. You know exactly where you're going, and you're actually moving forward toward that. That's regarding the first question. So the second question is
Um, Before you got the second question, because I'm sorry about that, Professor, because I know I would love for that question to be answered last. But there is a question that has come in from one of our followers, Nashra. How do I decide on a career?
so the first thing, so you have two approaches, Nash. So you have the top-down approach and the bottom-up approach. And the top-down
Could you please come again?
top-down approach
Okay.
and the bottom-up approach.
All right.
So the first, and actually they are not actually contradictory. The best thing is to do both and see if they are aligned or not, if they meet in the middle or not. The first one, which is the top-down approach, is to start by envisioning yourself after in 20 years from now. How would you like to see yourself? In what position? Having what skills? What personality? What leadership? So envision yourself. Listen to the whispers you have inside yourself. Yeah. So talk to yourself. The best one to talk to is yourself.
People might say you're mad. You're running mad.
Yeah. So, and then when you envision yourself, so ask yourself, so what should you do? What you should do right now to prepare yourself to that. So now fill the gaps. You have a kind of dashboard with some strengths and some weaknesses, and you try to fill the gap to achieve that dream. So what are the pieces, the missing pieces I need to complete to get there, and make a plan. And when I speak about plan, it's about strategizing. It's about really having goals. And when we talk about goals, we talk about measurable goals. We talk about quantifiable goals. I need to see numbers there to tell you that what you have are goals. I need to see numbers. So like what? And time too. So if you tell me I'll get my master degree in 2 years, so I know that that's a goal because I have numbers. 2 years master's degree, so it's one. So if you tell me I'll save I'll save 50,000 of whatever currency, 50,000 1 or 5 years. So I know that's a goal, and I know that you're not daydreaming. You're acting upon your dreams. You're actually setting a plan to achieve your dreams. So this is the top down approach. So start by knowing who you are, what you want, and establish a strategy from now onward, so to achieve that vision and that dream. Going through goals and underline and stress. I can't stress enough the word goals. Now the bottom up approach is actually the opposite. So starting with what you have right now. So just analyze yourself, analyze your skills, analyze and focus on your strengths. So say I'm good at this. What can I do with this? What can I do with the things that I'm
Good at.
yeah, I'm good at. I'm performing in them. So what can I do with that? What kind of job, career, business can I have with these things? And based on that, you start actually moving onward and setting your establishing your career. So this is in short. Back
Okay.
to
Thank you.
you.
Thank you very much. Someone is thanking us and thanking you for that. And now we can go ahead to my question, Professor.
So who can?
We because this journey, because my point is like this is quite a journey, and like any journey, a journey moved with a partner is far better than a journey uh, moved alone. So chances to survive with someone are better than the chances of survival when you're moving alone. So I'm like, such a complex journey, such a journey where we're supposed to make mistakes, where we're supposed to discover constant learning. Is there someone known, I mean, in our times, who can really help someone walk that journey successfully?
Yeah. I think the one who you'd like to partner with to move toward your dreams is someone who should be actually wise. So I'll give you the treats. So someone who is wise, because he'll and his wisdom is actually shown in his way to listen to you, his way to help you discover yourself, because he won't actually influence you. He won't lead you to things that are better for him, but for you. That's the real wisdom. So allow you to grow in your own way. You need someone who is wise. You need someone who is actually inspiration, who gives you the drive, who pulls you up when you are in need of that. So he's always positive, and he's not judging you. And actually, we know even the closest relatives of us are sometimes falling that trap of judging us, and that's actually makes makes us feel bad about ourselves. It's not encouraging. So you need someone who you can trust, because you'll be talking about intimate things, about things that actually really so you don't want anyone to know about. So and actually you need to be genuine with him, authentic, because sometimes you'll express your weakness.
So you need someone who will not lie to.
Yeah. Sometimes you express your vulnerability. So, and you do not shy from, get embarrassed from that. And actually, that's why, to be honest with you, that's why when I'm listening these things, I can think of a friend, but a friend, maybe he's imposing us his own experience, his own views. I can think I can think also of family member, but always family members are judging us. They are supporting us in their ways, but not in our ways. And from what I know, is the best to help in these kind of situations are actually coaches. And why is that? Because coaches are a combination of friends, family members, father, mother, but without judging, without actually trying to lead you to any place, because they give you the space to be really yourself and get deep down into yourself and discover from the deep of yourself, deep down of the deep inside of yourself, discover what's going on, and listening to yourself, to the whispers you have. And it's really magic, it's really powerful. And maybe there is the distinction to make clear here between a coach and a psychologist or psychiatric. So no, coaches are not psychiatrics. They don't see clients as patients suffering from some traumas, or they have something to fix. No, they the core of it, the actually the underpinning principle of it, that no, you have what it takes to move forward, and you don't need to look back to just mention all the things, the suffering, the things you've been. No, you need just to look forward, to discover your purpose of life and start moving ahead, moving forward, and every piece will fall in the right place, and you'll see that your life will be harmonious. Everything is working as you'd like to be. And by the way, I know we actually reached maybe the end of our webinar. I'd like to say last thing, if I may. So I'd like to. I don't know. So we're done, Ashraf, right?
We can't be done, but I believe it is the time, and actually, it is you is supposed to speak last. I wish to give you this
Yeah, I
1 minute to sum up.
I just wanted to say something. Actually, I wanted to say what we are saying right now is not just words. It's real things, and they actually are powerful things. And the proof, and this is what I'd like to say, the proof is just before you. Is look at Ashraf, and you'll see he's the proof. And we used to have these talks years ago, and actually uh, that's the thing we did. And I can actually leave the floor to Ashraf to talk about that for hours. The thing that we did is just about goal, having a goal, having something, a goal that really talks, expresses what you feel inside, that makes you really vibrate from inside, feel different, that actually allow you to feel important, to feel that yeah, you're really capable of doing great things, and that energizes you, galvanizes you, and give you the drive to move forward. And that's actually what happened with me personally, with Ashraf, with every successful one. So it's always the case. So find your purpose of life, and by you don't know. So the purpose of life should really, you feel it, you know inside yourself whether it's your purpose of life or not. When you feel really that you need to wake up early in the morning to start working on that, to give it all, and you feel different, look different, behave different, and people will see that, will know that, and will tell you that you look different because you exude a high level of self-confidence, a high level of self-esteem. So your life will change. When you find that and start working on that, from that moment on, your life will change, and you'll see miracles happening, isn't it, Ash?
Thank you very much, Professor. I don't know. I don't. what can you say very quick about that question? Sometimes you find yourself people laughing at your career. How do you go about that? And sometimes we feel too low.
Yeah,
Just a quick answer.
so we talked about happiness, and we said the last level of happiness is contentment, and that's contentment. So when people laugh or mock you, or so you don't care because you're already satisfied. You have you're satisfied from within. You're doing, you know that you're doing the best thing, the best thing for that goes with so it's the best thing for you. So you don't care about what they are saying, what they are doing. The most important thing is you. Since you're happy, and it's not happy. It's not just you're happy. A lot of noisy from my side. So, lot of, so you're
People
not.
are, people
Yeah.
are thanking you, I guess. I mean, they are thanking you from that side. I don't know.
So
Okay.
that's it. So you don't
Yeah,
care.
so Sister Zuleika, just have the contentment from within you, focus on you, and you will keep moving. If you need a coach, you've known why you need a coach, of course. And thank you very much, Professor, for showing up. I know you're very busy. I actually understand that you are traveling in a few hours from now, but you chose to be with us tonight, and that is very, really, it is uh, a sign of love and uh, a sign that you really have a purpose, and it is something you would do anyway, even if you have a few minutes left. So I really thank you. It has been an honor to host you, and I hope to ask you to accept again to show up, because I believe people have benefited from you, and they would love to see you again.
Thank you. It was my pleasure, and I really enjoyed the webinar. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor. Thank you, everyone who is watching, whether you're watching live or watching later. Just leave a comment, leave a question. Excellence International Institute shall respond to you, and feel free to reach out to through any of our channels, any of our pages. We are glad to serve. Like Professor said, we sat in a room and discovered our purpose, and we are actually living it. Thank you very much. Have a good night.